born free, free to be me, free to be free. Happy Independence Day, everyone. I think this is no coincidence. I'd like to start with a little chant from Yogananda, since we're still on that chapter of the Royal Mystery, the Mystery Majestical. Her spirit is in everything, as everything, but not in everything, in everything. It is transcendent absolute, right? So it's a mystery. And this song is perfect. It's spirit and then Mother Nature dancing together. And let's just say victory to spirit and victory to nature. And we're so happy and dancing. But why we start with this song, I just love to have all of you just ask yourself on the inside, what is freedom to you? If today is a day to be free, how can you be free today? All right? Just go inside on that one. Okay? Spirit and nature dancing together. Victory to spirit, victory to nature. Spirit and nature dancing together. Victory to spirit, victory to nature. We're so happy and dancing. We're so happy and free. We're so happy and dancing. We're so happy and free. Spirit and nature dancing together. Victory to spirit, victory to nature. Spirit and nature dancing together. Victory to spirit, victory to nature. We're so happy and dancing. We're so happy and free. We're so happy and dancing. We're so happy and free. Spirit and nature dancing together. Victory to spirit, victory to nature. Spirit and nature dancing together. Victory to spirit, victory to nature. Put on your happy cap. Put on your smiley face. Break free out of the cage right now, because we're so happy and dancing. We're so happy and free. We're so happy and dancing. We're so happy and free. We're so happy and dancing. We're so happy and free. One more. We're so happy and dancing. We're so happy and free. Hold hands, lower your chin, bow your head, relax from toes to head, from head to toes. And let's pray together. Oh, great Spirit, infinite creator, King of the infinite, and oh, Mother, Queen of all creation, blessed masters, friend, beloved God, we lay at your feet the flowers of our devotion, or offer you a garland of our united love, of our united hearts. Receive our love and help us to receive your love, O Infinite One. O Spirit, O Christ, O Krishna, beloved friend, dance within us today. Show us the way to be free in you. Help us to make a vow that thou and I are never apart. Thou and I are never apart. Bless us with this realization. Om Shanti, Shanti. Amen. Quite simple. God is simple. Truth is simple. Everything else is complex. The last paragraph that we read last week, it was verse 15, says this. It refers to the way of wisdom. Gyan. As the yogi progresses spiritually, she and he offers her in his manifold states of knowledge as oblations in the ever-increasing fire of wisdom. We have a roaring fire going, don't we, right now? And always. In this way, he and she worships the infinite as a myriad manifestations of the divine perceptions. Whatever is your perception right now of truth, everybody, offer that into the great fire, the great spirit fire. Finally, all are commingled, and I love these three words, one blessed blaze. There's only one blessed blaze. There's only one to worship. This stream this morning is called the right way of worship. And there's only one right way of worship, and that is to worship the one with all your mind, heart, strength, and soul. So there's one blessed blaze to make all these offerings of our everyday, of our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, our wants, and our desires, and our upheavals, and our challenges, right? And our insatiable cravings still possibly, right, for things and sensory experiences. All goes into the one blessed blaze for the one, to the one, the only one, okay? Through many perceptions, the devotee learns to worship the Lord with a soul perception, S-O-L-E, and you could say S-O-U-L, with the soul perception. Eventually, we learn to worship the Lord with the soul perception, and it is the knowing of him as the absolute transcendental Lord. First, the yogi sees God as all, then grasps the ultimate simplicity, God. There's just one focus to have today. There's just one desire today. There's just one thing to be so-called doing. But we're not going to do it because the one's going to do it through us, right? So it's quite simple. You don't have to figure out, what am I going to do today, right? What are our plans today? Because you're free. You're free. You're free to be. So I hope whatever you choose to do, you're choosing from the highest, deepest, purest place within you, right? Otherwise, you better really tuck that spirit into your heart and mind as you do whatever you're going to do, because why would you do a secondary thing when there's only one? You know, that's where we gain power. That's where we get the focus, this concentrated devotion. They asked Bruce Lee once, are you afraid of someone that has 1,000 different kicks? He says, no. But I am very leery of one who does one kick thousands of times. So if you want power, let's just stick to one game plan, one focus, one heart, one love. All right. That's it right there. As we move to verse 16, free to be. This is what Krishna says in verse 16. I am the rite, R-I-T-E, the sacrifice, the oblation to ancestors, the medicinal herb, the holy chant, the melted butter, the sacred fire, and the offering. You know, in this chapter, he just makes a whole list of all the things that he is, the one supreme Lord. He's everything. Everything you can think of, that's what he is, and then some. So Yogananda says this, and I love how precise and how potent is the first paragraph. The Vedic sacrificial ceremonies, when we said rite, R-I-T-E, all the rites they do, all the sacrificial ceremonies, what they do in the East, primarily indigenous cultures. The Vedic sacrificial ceremonies in which clarified butter is poured on fire. Om Swaha, Om Swaha, Om Swaha, you know. I give back my mind to spirit. I give back my heart to spirit. I give back my body to spirit. I give back my soul to spirit, and I throw myself into the flames of bliss, into the flames of bliss. Om Swaha, Om Swaha, Om Swaha. The holy rites and oblations offered in the purifying fire of what? God awareness. Why do you do anything, and why are you going to make the choices that you make today when you are scot-free to be? Go deep on that one, my friends. What does freedom mean to me? How can I be free today? It's going to be different for all of us, and that's beautiful. Because God wants you to be uniquely different. You're one of a kind, you know. We're all one of a kind. No soul is there's like another soul. We're absolutely, totally unique creatures, creations, sons and daughters of the Most High. And so he's hoping we choose the most unique, perfect path for us, each one of us individually, all leading to the same place: freedom in spirit, communion with spirit, all right? Oneness with spirit. So that clarified butter is poured on the fire, symbolizing, and this is a biggie right here, just that traditional, thousands of years old ceremony of making a fire and putting some clarified butter, pouring it on the fire, symbolizes this: surrender of the self, small s, to the self, capital S. I give back my body to spirit. I give back my mind to spirit. I give back this guilt that I feel because yesterday I really screwed up, right? I give that thought even back to spirit, everything back to spirit, and I throw it into the sacred fire because I want to surrender everything of my little self to my big self, my higher self. Put that one on the flames, on the barbecue for today, okay? How much of that little self do you want to put back into the fire? Or maybe it's too much to consider. Well, if you really want to have too much on your plate, don't consider this, okay? Ignorance is not bliss, my friends. This is the way to be free, is that we give back our attachments, our delusions, everything that makes us the little self, the human self. All right. All the gifts that God has bestowed on you. You might also want to look at all your gifts, all your blessings today. All of them, the gifts that God has bestowed on you, are offered in turn to God by the devotee. Because we're still kind of talking about this sattvic individual, right? We looked at the demons and the fiends of the rajas and the tamas kind of people, right? And yes, and then we just started that list of what the sattvic soul is like. It's on fire for the fire, on fire to surrender the little self to the big self, on fire to be more passionate around the inner work today. Whereas it's that you could just use your senses and be Regina and Lord of your senses, right? I am Lord of my senses, Regina of my senses. You use them every day, and they're really grounded in a deep astral part of you, a deep light-filled energy field of yours, anchored in there, the root. And the root is clairaudience, clairvoyance, claircognizance, clairsentience. You have powers, you have superpowers. So if we purify and spiritualize our senses today, would be a great way. It wouldn't be just writing down, here's how I want to be free today, and just want it, but not do anything about it because you have other plans, right? Is to is to actually spiritualize the things that you're using every cotton picking day, not to mention that they are gifts from God. Your ability to see, your ability to hear, smell, taste, and touch, to walk, to grasp, right? To eliminate, to procreate, walking and talking, the ability to talk, most of you. So we can use all 10 senses to spiritualize. Wow, you could be busy all day in a loving place, which would automatically give you this spirit of freedom, right? Because love is the only way to freedom. You know, focusing on one purpose today is the only way to freedom. There's just only one reality, friends, and one blessed place to throw yourself into. But imagine that, to offer your gifts as well into the sacred fire, not to mention the little self, but all your gifts. Wow, that's not something we do usually, is it? Well, wouldn't that be a great day to kind of break free with something like that? You know, I'm Lord of my senses, Regina of my senses. I love what I see, I love what I hear, I love what I smell, taste, and touch. I love what I see, I love what I hear, I love what I smell, taste, and touch. For when I love what I see, Lord, you are revealed to me. He's only revealed through love, incessant worship through love, of love to the one, incessantly, unceasingly. That's how he is revealed. So I love what I see. I love what I hear. I love what I smell, taste, and touch. For when I love what I see, Lord, you are revealed to me. When I love what I hear, Lord, you are revealed to me. When I love what I smell, Lord, you are revealed to me. Because if you're loving, you're going to transform whatever it is that you can smell anytime, anywhere, into the energy of love for the divine, a sacred ritual right there. And just loving what you see, hear, smell, taste, and touch, because that's how you develop. Because when you can do all that, you are revealed to me through my intuition. I see you through my intuition. I hear you through my intuition. I smell you through my intuition. I taste you through my intuition. I touch you because I'm Lord of my senses. Whatever you see, hear, smell, taste, and touch, walk, talk, grasp, eliminate, procreate, all of it needs to be done with love. And you will find that you'll be doing it less, indulging in the senses, because there's no way you can do both. You cannot do both. It's opposites ends of the spectrum. This experience of the pure, invisible, intangible, formless spirit, omnipresent, and then this physical thing that I'm going to do. But start with just putting your devotion and love as an offering in all those means, those 10 ways to operate with the senses, all right? The sense of perception, the senses of action. All are offered in turn to God by the devotee. The sattvic devotee considers all her and his actions, all of them. It's just not time to pray. It's not just time to meditate. It's just not time to, get cleaned up, get ready to go to work. It's not when you go to work. It's not just any of those things. The sattvic considers all of her and his actions, whether secular, spiritual, or ritualistic, as holy rites and oblations offered in the purifying fire of God awareness. Your life is an offering, my dear. If you want to be free as the wind blows, right? You want to be able to be in offering all the time. Everything back to you, Lord. Everything back to you. And it puts you in the present moment too. So right in the heart of what we're talking about is a vibration on how to be free today. Truly. And how bad do you want that freedom? I don't care how you go about it, but in your heart of hearts, seek for that experience of freedom to the degree that you can experience it today. Ask God for his unceasing help, which you know you got, and then put your unceasing effort into this. You know, the Buddha said once that you don't have to seek enlightenment. Just stop relishing your cherished beliefs. And Rumi says something similar. He says, you don't have to seek love. Just let go of all those things that are not love. So we need to stay busy with the things we do all the time, with the senses, and spiritualize them. And I'm leading to that. If you want to get those videos that we did when we did this 10 estates, you know, noble vision versus ignoble vision, you know, prince controlled creative impulse versus prince or princess promiscuity. Really good to have on your to be list. Really important. Let me know. I can get them over to you. I'd point the way. I will point the way. We all need that. We really need that. And we really need to feel that we are totally increasing our understanding and awareness and attunement with the attunements of ours too. These are the keys. These are the basic yamas and niyamas for us. What I just said. Lord and Regina of our senses, and making sure that we are totally in the highest place possible when we sit down and attune to each one of those steps that we practice in each one of the chakras. All right? So those are worth a review too. The Sattvic devotee considers all her and his actions, whether secular, spiritual, rituals, holy rites, and oblations, offered in the purifying fire of God awareness, as dream objects and beings cannot be separated from their dreamer. You can't separate you from the dream you had last night. It was all going on inside you. You can't separate yourself from God. The delusion will force us to. It will do it, and we don't even know what the hell happened, but we're sad and we're not feeling so good, right? But we can never be separated from Source, because he is dreaming us. We are in his dream. We are in his cosmic consciousness right now. So simplify, kids, simplify. Don't be dreaming more dreams about things to get involved in outwardly. No, you want to start to now de-manifest, not manifest more stuff. De-manifest. That's the secret. Is to de-manifest all your worldly dreams and desires. We don't need those anymore. We just need one supreme focus to have as we throw ourselves in, whether whatever we're doing, secular, ritualistic, or just having fun or barbecuing. We want to throw it all into a love offering, into one blessed blaze, okay? So as dream objects and beings cannot be separated from their dreamer, similarly, the oblating devotee, one who lives to offer herself and himself, everything back to the Lord. In fact, she never claims anything as her own, that she does anything. It's just all back into the sacred fire. We live in a sacred fire. There's just the spirit fire. That's all there is. The spirit truth, reality, however you want to word it. That's all there is. The oblating devotee honors the Lord as the giver, the offering, and the receiver. Honors the Lord as everything, everything you see and what you don't see. But through intuition, we can see, we can hear. Really, really, really put that one on today. Give it a go as you're walking along. Love what you see. Someone's talking, love what they're saying. Not that you'll try to, figure out what they're saying. Just love, just love. They're expressing, their soul is expressing. That's, beloved, I'm so glad to see you. That's the beloved inside them. And then listen. If you haven't really listened to sounds lately, but that's how you get in tune with the Om. You listen, and you listen with love. You listen with love, and you go beneath, and then another sound comes, and you listen with love, and pretty soon you awaken your intuition on hearing, and then all of a sudden you can hear the whispers of God. You can hear the symphony of the Om, right? So love it. Put your love into the workings of your senses. Put all your love into it. Another way that we're looking at today to be free is that we're going to turn ourselves in. We're going to turn ourselves in. Yeah, one big going into the high court and saying, "I'm all yours, Lord." To the highest celestial heaven, and let's face it. Let's face it. It's another thing to remember. Let's just face it. Face the highest truth. Face the one whose face it is that you will see in the highest celestial heaven. You know, how many times Jesus calling says, you know, seek my face, seek my face. So let's face it, you know, and put ourselves in that position that we are in the highest consciousness we can go to, and not to consider anything less than the highest, because the goal here, you'll hear, is the supreme. The greatest way of worship is to worship the supreme absolute, the spirit unmanifested. Okay. So don't go starting to pick from the low branches, man. Go for that freshest fruit on the high, as high as we can stretch, and don't look back. So that's the end of this verse 16. Pretty cool, right? Verse 17, Krishna goes on to say, of this world I am the father, the mother, the ancestor, the preserver, the sanctifier, the all-inclusive object of knowledge, the cosmic Om, and also the Vedic lore. We could spend the rest of eternity saying all the things that the Lord is, because he's everything and everyone. He's the all-inclusive object of knowledge. You want knowledge? Get it through intuition of the one that you are incessantly worshiping in everything you do, offering yourself back. So you're free. Everything just, the Spirit flows through you. The Spirit flows through you. The breath of Christ moves through you. So Yogananda says the unmanifested Spirit is the supreme cause, the ancestor of God the Father of creation, the ancestor of God the Father of creation, the Sat or cosmic consciousness, God the Son, his reflection in creation as the preserver, Tat, the Krishna and Christ consciousness. Remember, this is Spirit, the supreme cause, is the ancestor of everything. And God the Holy Ghost, the Om, the mother of cosmic nature, bringing forth the worlds through her creative vibration. Just the one. There's just one simple practice today. Surrender whatever it is to the one. That's it. All goes back today if you want to be free. Spirit as the sole reality is the one object of knowledge. So if you guys still hungering for knowledge, you got to know this and you got to know that, right? You're always the ones seeming to know everything when you're talking with people. Here's a new way to go about it. Spirit is the sole reality, as the sole reality is the one object of knowledge, comprehending which man and woman will simultaneously, so we put it all, we put it all on the all for one for all, go after just the one realization of the supreme ancestor of everything that is, the supreme unmanifested Spirit, the sole cause of everything. We will comprehend then simultaneously and understand all other knowledge. You understand the one, you understand everything. Spirit is the sanctifier. I love that. Spirit is the sanctifier. So if you go after just one, if you surrender to just the one, you give back your gifts to the one, to the one, to the one. Spirit is a sanctifier that will purify you of sin and delusion, the great sanctifier. You just go for the one, man, the one, and you'll be purified of sin and delusion. And it too is the source of Vedic or eternal wisdom. And it too is the source, the one object of knowledge. It too is the source of Vedic or eternal wisdom. That was verse 17. It all makes sense, right? It's so simple, right? It's so simple. And I hope that you could just relax at this moment before we go on to verse 18. Close your eyes and just visualize how still you are, how there's special grace right now, that the blessings are here with you, helping you to be still and centered. What's that all about? And calm, deep calm coming over us, so that we can, instead of take a breath or do something here, that we wait for that breath to come in. And when she does, it's the breath of spirit. So you can fill up with that spirit as you relax even more. And then as you exhale, we give back into that one blessed blaze of the spirit presence that's with us now. Just give back whatever. Anything on your mind, girls and boys, anything in your hearts, men and women, anything that's going on today, the rest of your day, your plans. Just be still and wait to receive that gift of life as it comes in. And receive it with all your mind, heart, strength, and soul. And exhale, give thanks. Give thanks for this and everything, as you now can witness all these comings and goings, all these different things that are happening every single moment, every single day. And now you can be a blissful witness and a watcher and be at peace and centered in the center of the one blessed blaze, in the center of your purest desire for this oneness, for this union with spirit, for this peace and freedom. To be free today is the sole purpose of your life. It's a supreme calling of the spirit to your soul. Be free now. And feel how beautiful that diaphragm, nostril breath, nostrils through the breath, that breath coming through the nostrils only, belly breathing. Smooth, take your time, and that same mouth closed, nostril breathing, exhale out as you surrender into the sacred one blessed blaze. Because you have lots of gifts to give back today. You have this whole day to give back in the present moment. You have the whole day to not claim anything as your own. You have the whole day to be the happiest you've ever been in any lifetime. You have the whole day to love through God's grace more than you've ever experienced love before. And to be in that intuitive place where you know beyond a shadow of a doubt that spirit and us are one, that love and us are one, that light and us are one, that the Om and us are one, that mother and father of this creation and the operating force of the creation, that we are one. Receive a big breath, everybody. Sigh it out and ask yourself again, how can I be free right now? Be free right now. your soul. If you can listen with your intuition, you'll hear what your soul exactly is telling you, how you, uniquely you, can be free. Be still and know that Spirit is with you, sharing with you right now, removing obstacles right now, blessing you. And so it is. You ready for verse 18? So good to see you, Bhavananda. So good to see you. I see you. Love it. I'm so glad to see you. Lisa, Jim Clark, and then Orion G. Special blessings, infinite blessings. Best moment of our forever right here, right now. It's our lucky forever. Let's hear what Krishna is more. Going to be more stuff right now. Yeah, you're going to have to be more stuff, Krishna. I am the ultimate goal, the upholder, the master, the witness, the shelter, the refuge, and the one friend. The one friend. Do you guys realize you only got one friend? You guys realize you only got one option. You guys know that there's just one thing to be focused on all the time, right? You got it, right? You got this. I'm the one friend. I'm the origin, the dissolution, the foundation, the cosmic storehouse. You need something today? The cosmic storehouse. Costco should change its name. And the seed indestructible. You know, Yogananda has a little poem in Songs of the Soul. It's called One Friend. One Friend. Sweet little ditty it is. And it goes like this. Many clouds do race to hide thee, of friends and wealth and fame, and yet through mist of tears I see appear thy golden name. Each time my father, mother, friends do loudly claim they do me tend, I wake from sleep to sweetly hear that thou alone dost help me here. Many clouds do race to hide thee, of friends and wealth and fame, and yet through mist of tears I see appear thy golden name, the one, in gold letters, the one, my beloved one, beloved. Each time my father, mother, friends do loudly claim they do me tend, really, I wake from sleep to sweetly hear that thou alone dost help me here. You, my one friend, alone is helping me here. One friend, cosmic storehouse, you name it, Spirit is it. So Yogananda comments on this and says, God is the one friend of man and woman. One friend. See, part of what's going on here is that if you're not loyal to the one, you know, nothing's going to work here at all in our favor. It's paranoia time, big time. But if you're loyal to the one truth, the one purpose, the one goal, the one spirit, it's the opposite. You'll have a really, really good dream here. And then you'll have the greatest imperishable wisdom that says, I don't even want to just dream good dreams here. I want to go home and be wide awake in the infinite bliss, oneness, union with spirit. How's that? So God is the one friend of man and woman, he who eventually restores to his bosom all his dream children. The only way home is through his grace. It's the only way home. The only way home is through surrender of little self to our higher self. And we have that imperishable wisdom guiding us, right? There's only one way, unceasing love, unswerving devotion, right? That means loving all the time. That's why you need to use your senses to love what you see, hear, smell, taste, and touch, walk, talk, grasp, and do those daily duties. Eliminate and maybe be that Prince controlled creative impulse, right? Immaculate, pure. That's the original of man and woman. That's the original. That's what God has in mind here, right? He is the one consciousness that creates, preserves, dissolves, and witnesses all creation. The one storehouse wherein all cosmic dream blueprints are kept during the kalpas, the night of Brahmins, day of Brahman, of dissolution. And at the beginning of the great kalpas or manifestation, it is he as the imperishable seed that fertilizes Prakriti, Divine Mother. It's your job. You got to run this place now. And vivifies her protean forms. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Hourglass. Boy, you don't want to know how easy it is to waste time. You say you want things, but when you start saying to God, I want some certain spiritual things, God be on your A game. There's no messing around in that relationship. There's no messing around with breaking any kind of cosmic law, any kind. This is why the basics of yoga, the basics is so important. Yamas and niyamas. It's right there. Things that we have to avoid at all costs. I'm telling you, next time you have an energy leak at that root chakra and your whole consciousness just drops, you can use that as a great asset. And that's coming up here in one of these verses too. How the little things, the little trip ups in life and all that can really be to your advantage when you realize the contrast, the pain of what just happened. That you let your higher self just take a break, or you weren't listening to that higher self, and you drop, and now you're feeling just really, really the contrast of the pain and the suffering. And how powerful is now the delusion coming in to keep you in that state, so you can say, oh yeah, well, this is the way it is anyway, blah 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 blah. They can turn you on a dime to the dark side, right? Instead of turning you at the end, you got to turn into the light now. You got to hand yourself over today, man. You got to join the Rebel Alliance, right? You got to join the side of the light like crazy, and then how can I help? Join Her Majesty's service and say, how can I help you, Mom? You got a big job. I want to help you. And I'll help you by being a little babe, completely surrendered on your lap of immortality, right? So in this next verse, verse 19, he goes on, Krishna. I bestow solar heat. You need some solar panels? Source has got them. O Arjuna, and give or withhold the rain. Need a rain shower? Immortality am I, and also death. I am being, sat, and non-being, asat. I'm the untruth and the truth. So here, Yogananda says, the Lord here presents himself as the great paradox. As a creator of Maya, as a creator of the dark, the cosmic musician. He is responsible for the pairs of opposites, those twin snares, likes and dislikes. That's the enemy. That's a part of the Kaurava army. The contrasting suggestions accepted by all creatures under Maya's hypnotic sway. We've all accepted this Maya, you know. We don't even know how it really works or what. But we've accepted everything here and taken it for granted. and thinking it's yours to do with as you want. Me, mine, right? There's no thought of offering on a constant basis or any offering ever, right? It's yours. It's my life. It's my rights. Jeez. These the contrasting suggestions accepted by all creatures under Maya's hypnotic sway: heat and cold, life and death, truth and falsehood, reality and illusion. There's all of it. So we have a choice. Since we're in all of it, which is a relativity and a duality, we have just a choice at all times, right? And if we want that purifying fire of God awareness to be really blazing around us, we have to be on our A game. That means our human habits, our human MO, our human way of thinking, our human way of categorizing, all of it needs to be updated, my friends, seriously, from the human approach to the divine approach, the soul approach. And then we start to practice the soul approach and make that our number one focus and default. So our default is our first nature, not our second nature. Usually we default back to our lowest selves. So, wow, what a day. What a stream we are having to really give us that final little blessing and that nudge from the inside. God talking to you and saying, let's go. We've got this thing. There's no looking back. All right. Let's burn the boats. Let's burn the story. Let's burn everything that is going to be like an argument that we're going to have with ourselves. AA has another good acronym for fear: fighting ego against reality. Isn't that a good definition for fear? Isn't that a good definition to use while we're doing Gita? Fighting ego against reality. When we could drop our weapons of mass destruction, our thought mechanisms, our worldly desires, our unfinished business, all the stuff that still got us trapped in this prison of our own me and mine kind of thing. And we can transform it all today in one swoop. Push one button, the soul button, right? Spirit and I are one. Thou and I are never apart. Almighty power, Spirit, I am you. I am you. And when you sit down and take refuge, because God's the refuge, Spirit's the refuge, in your steps, in those chakras, you're at peace, my dears. In each one of those places, you can have direct one-on-one awakenings with the divinity that you are in those chakras. In each one. And you can find a resting place. You can find your happy place. You can find the place beyond your dreams, the land beyond your dreams. You can feel safe, finally safe, really safe house in each one of those chakras. So now we have a little time, believe it or not. This is now where it says the right method of worshiping God. This is page 759. And we're going to verses 20 and 21. Burn the boat, says Brookie. Do you have any thoughts on this Independence Day, this day that you're going to break free from your mind? Break free for all time. Break free, it's not your dime. I, me, and mine. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I think. I still want to do that. Break free, become one with the divine. Become one with the divine. Become one with the divine. Break free from your mind. Break free for all time. Break free, it's not your dime. Break free, become one with the divine. Become one with the divine. Break free. 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 The right method of worshiping God. Verse 20. The Vedic ritualists, cleansing themselves of sin by the Soma rite. You hear about the Soma rite, it's a trip. Worship me by yajna, sacrifice. Ooh. And thus win their desire of entry into heaven. Ooh. There in the sacred kingdom of the astral deities, devotees enjoy the subtle celestial pleasures. That's verse 20. Verse 21. But after delighting in the glorious higher regions, such beings, at the expiration, though, of that good karma to get them there, at the expiration, has an expiration date. You have an expiration date, kids? Got careful. Yes, you do. If you're not careful, if you're making karma, yes, you do have an expiration date. You're going to have happen what's going to happen here. At the expiration of their good karma, return to earth, thus abiding by the scriptural regulations, desiring the enjoyments, the promised celestial rewards thereof, they travel the cyclic path between heaven and earth. In other words, you're coming back. Free trip, free return trip back to one of the worst places in creation, planet Earth. Because you get, dear, what you pray for most. You get what that heart desire is wanting today. And I don't care if it's the barbecue or what. If it replaces the soul desire, the burning heart's desire, if it replaces it, that is karma making. And it was just a picnic, Lord. It was just a picnic I was desiring. No, I don't want to come back for another picnic. Because that's what my family does. Be careful with that stuff, man. God's your family. You are all these other things. You are all the, you know what I'm saying? You got to have God first. First love, first choice. Always is the purpose of everything, as the motive of everything. Then you could do anything you want, all right? But not before. Not until you have God centered in the heart, and you are centered in that heart. You are there. That's where you have your being. Live, move, and have your being. Those who desire celestial fruits of actions, and who therefore purify themselves by Vedic rites or any other scriptural rituals or injunctions, and by right living receive the satisfaction of their heart's aspiration. Entrance into the holy astral abodes. But that entrance leads inevitably to an exit, because such devotees did not desire God, but only his gifts. Do you want God or do you want his gifts? Got to ask that question all the time. This is Freedom Day. Tomorrow is Freedom Day too. The rest of your days is Freedom Days. But some's got to give, baby, and it's you before you get wasted, before time is wasted. And if you waste time, time will waste you, says Lord Shakespeare, or Lord Shakespeare, William Shakespeare. You waste time, time will waste you. And talk about having a review and seeing that, I was close, Lord. I was close. I wanted to be with you, but we had a family thing to do, and I still didn't have that. I just still didn't put first things first, so I could be with the family and still have you uppermost in my consciousness. Lord, I need some real private one-on-one time with you. You got to help me out here, because I'm doing my duties is in Dharma and family life and all that. You got to help me out, because I ain't doing so good on that. You got to help me. And he's going to say, okay, well, let's go. dig in. Start today. Get those attunements from Swami Tommy. Listen to those, meditate with those, so you are updating in your spiritual practices, my dear. Updating, not just hanging out there, not just doing because you do, but to update, get the new offerings from your soul. That's what Yogananda said once in one of the old Gita classes that we did, and I listened to it. He said, every meditation is a new offering of your soul. Update. Did you get that this morning? Did you get that inspiration for today from this morning? Right? And then let's do this. Let's do the streams, all of us. I'm going to look again. I've already looked and I've already done all the attunements again. I have them right in order, and I meditate with those attunements. The ones that this gives us these beautiful little guided meditation, man. And if you listen to the whole thing, you get all the everything, all the ins and outs of that step. And I know we forget, but we need the refresh. We need to do that. And then Lord of our senses, that is like, that's like the yamas and niyamas. You're not going to get anywhere in the upper chakras if we don't follow yamas and niyamas. So we have to be lords of our senses too. These are the primary boot camp trainings that have got to be really refreshed for all of us, if you have time, if you can squeeze God in, right? So those who desire celestial fruits of actions who therefore purify themselves by Vedic rites. See, if you were to drop today, kaplunk onto the floor, that'd be a hell of an Independence Day, wouldn't it? Right? And you're cut short of all these spiritual desires that are kind of taking second fiddle. It's just what it is. Don't make yourself wrong. In fact, use it as momentum to really surge spiritually now, to really see what it's like to put God first, and everything else will be added onto you. That's coming up. We're going to get to it this morning. Got to get to that verse. We got to end with that verse. You can bank on that verse. That's going to come up. Okay. So purify themselves by Vedic rites or any other spiritual rituals or injunctions. And by right living, receive the satisfaction of their heart's aspiration. Entrance into the holy astral abodes, but that entrance leads inevitably to an exit, because such devotees did not desire God, but only his gifts. For such aspirants, good karma produces only a period of astral enjoyment. Whether long or short, that period will end. But those who single-heartedly love the Lord, love the Lord, free the soul. But those who single-heartedly love the Lord and who work for him without desire for fruits of actions, those who perform the true yagna or gyan of yoga, offering the self, here we go again, little s, into the big S self, and who by guru-given yoga techniques purify their bodies and consciousness with being Lord and Regina of your senses, and with the soma nectar of divine life energy. There's a little thing here to check the bottom. Win the eternal liberation. You just don't want to go on a vacation, man, when you leave here. Or another rest just to come back here and start over again. It's hard to push this boulder up the stream, man. The boulder of all the weight of all your samskaras. And then there are seeds that haven't even sprouted. And who knows what else that we still have to push up this hill, it seems, right? Don't want to start over on that. Good dreams. Those of the high astral spheres are still dreams. And keep the soul deluded. Man, we don't mess around when we play our love game. We don't mess around when it's time to love. Are you ready? Are you ready to love? Are you ready? Yes, we're ready to love. Good dreams, those of high astral spheres, are still dreams and keep the soul deluded. A wise yogi does not wish to spend, a wise yogi and yogini, that's who you are, do not wish to spend incarnations traveling from one good dream to another. Oh, honey, let's plan another vacation, right? Because that's the way it is. That's life here on planet Earth. Let's plan another vacation. Or we'll plan our, we'll just be okay people. We'll be good people. And the road to hell is paved with good people of good intentions, right? Well, you can do that. Then we'll have a little vacation. Then we'll come back and maybe we'll be together. Maybe we won't. Anyway, confinement in beautiful dream prisons. Beautiful dream prisons has no lure for him, the wise devotee. Oneness with the ultimate reality is his and her sole goal. Don't forget this stream. Don't forget. Don't forget, period. Don't forget. Don't forget what's the most important thing for you to be free today. You got to be free today. You realize that, don't you? Verse 22, the two men who meditate on me as their very own, women too, ever united to me by incessant worship, incessant giving back, incessant. See, it's just automatic. It's first nature. It's first love. It's first operating totally top priority, precision-like operations. God first in our heart, mind, strength, and soul. Always first, incessant worship. I supply their deficiency. Here we go, kids. You want to meditate on me as your very own, ever united to me by incessant worship? I will supply your deficiencies and make permanent their gains. This is what I was talking about. Here's why we can be so short-sighted, and then all of our excuses about why we're too damn busy because of all these activities that we're doing, right? They are just excuses that we've used for a long time. Devotees who are faithful to their Creator, perceiving Him in all the diverse phases of life. This is why you got to see the beloved in these people, in your family members. You got to drop the labels, drop who you think they are, drop trying to please them, drop trying to just be a human so that they're not going to get to, you're not a spiritual weirdo and all that. You can still be just who you are. You don't have to say anything. But you have to be able to see God in them first and foremost all the time. Beloved, I'm so glad to see you. Got work to do, don't we? They discover, who perceive Him in all diverse phases of life, discover that He has taken charge of their lives. Look at what can happen then when you can make these changes that we're talking about today. Freedom Day, Liberation Day. Wow, Transformation Day. Are you kidding me? And you'll find that God has taken charge of your life when you put Him first. Hello, He puts you first then, and He makes sure this life dream that you're having here is unbelievable. And makes smooth then your path by bestowal of divine foresight. So He gives you that wisdom. You have that wisdom. You have that foresight. Thus saith the wise King Solomon, trust in the Lord with all thine heart, in all thy ways. Acknowledge Him, and He shall direct thy paths. Anyway, that soma thing, it's the juice extracted from the soma plant is used to prepare purifying ritualistic libations offered during ceremonial worship. The true soma, however, is known to advanced yogis as a nectar-like secretion of divine life energy produced in the throat by the perfected practice of such techniques as Kriya Yoga and Kachari Mudra. It gives a divine elixir coming from your throat. That's the real soma right there. All right. So let's just finish this up though, because this is a perfect way to end on Freedom Day and Freedom Life. Huh? What a start for a freedom life, man. He who perceives the colossal cosmic dream, he who preserves the colossal cosmic dream, that's the spirit, upholds. So the one who's dreaming this whole cosmic dream, the one who's behind it, whose dream it is, he upholds lovingly the wisdom of yogis. He upholds you when you have that wisdom and you decide, I'm going for the highest, the best. I'm not going to go, settle for anything less. I'll get less than what I settled for. He upholds lovingly the wisdom of you. once you have found it. But he's going to bestow that divine foresight on you when you are able in all phases of your life to see him, only him. Come on, Regina and Lord of your senses. This is why we have those senses, to have those astral powers, be clairaudient, clairvoyance. We need to see that everyone is divine light. We need to hear hear this divine foresight. We need to get constantly those soul offerings in a deeper meditation each day. We need the updates. We need that direction, right? But once you have it, and you'll be given it if you put first things first, the Lord will uphold that wisdom. And the inexhaustible Lord finds no difficulty then in supplying you, dear Brooke, Narayan, Lisa, Jim Clark, Bob Ananda, in supplying you. The inexhaustible Lord will find no difficulty whatsoever in supplying you with food and shelter for the body, as well as all other needful accessories of dream life. This stanza of the Gita reminds us of Christ's words, but seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. Most men and women foolishly spend their valuable lives. You waste time, time's going to waste you. They foolishly spend their valuable lives in seeking material riches, which must be forsaken at death. Yogis and yoginis use their efforts to find imperishable wisdom. This is all imperishable. Everything he's saying is why he said, go, don't stop in the gardens on the higher astral plane. Go, go, go straight to the transcendental absolute. The imperishable wisdom such as that, their spiritual wealth, this is beautiful. We're going to end with this thought. Their spiritual wealth, these yogis who don't foolishly waste their time and their valuable lives in seeking material riches and getting all caught up at the expense of leaving God on the outside of your life and all the stuff you're doing, but use their efforts for imperishable wisdom. Their spiritual wealth is deposited. Their spiritual wealth is deposited by spirit for them, or for them by spirit, by God, in the bank of eternity, to be used by them forever. I'll read that once more. Yogis use their efforts to find imperishable wisdom. Their spiritual wealth is deposited for them. Deposited for them by God in the bank of eternity, to be used by them forever. And you can bank on it. Big breath. Sigh it out and die. To the little self, you're just big S now, man. Your soul. You're all soul down. We're all these imperishably wise who spend our efforts to let God totally be in charge of us. And of course, now we have quite a bank account, don't we? Never to worry. Thank you, Lord, for this fabulous morning. Thank you for the freedom that we're feeling, that we're really intuiting that. And thank you for the strength that we're going to need to carry through on being Lord and Regina of our senses, and to make sure that these soul offerings, these updates that come through deep meditation and attunement with the truth and the divinity in all of our steps in the chakras, you give us the strength to get those updates every day, so we can have this divine foresight to love you and love you and love you forever. Oh, Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Amen. We're in. I'm in. we're in. You're welcome, Clarks. Thank you for your sweet note. Be waiting to hear from you, asking for those attunements and how to get those videos on becoming a Regina and Lord of your senses. Beautiful, Bhavanan. Myself, I will not mind be done. Beautiful. Y'all are so, so beautiful. And so it is.